It's a familiar song. Anyhow. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to weep, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. So to everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. So through everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time of love, a time to hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. But to everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to every purpose under heaven.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Justin Wilson. I'm the Congregational Life Coordinator here at First Universalist Church of Rochester, and it is my honor to welcome you all to our worshiping community. If this is your first or maybe your second, or if you're returning after a while, visit to us, we especially welcome you and welcome you back. Thank you for making it to our worshiping community. We invite you to stay after for connection in the coffee hour in the Clara Barton Lounge behind me, or online in the same Zoom link. There is a visitor's form on the back of your order of service, or click the link in the chat. We ask you to fill that out so we can offer you a welcome beyond what we can offer this morning. You can also use that to update contact information if that's changed or if we don't have that on file. If you have a big joy or sorrow in your heart this morning, we invite you to write it in the notebook here on the chancel or in the chat on Zoom anytime before the chalice is lit. So online, now would be a good time to enter those in the chat, or in person when we do our welcome in a moment would be a good time. We just want to remember to enter those before the chalice is lit. I want to turn your attention to the order of service announcements to just highlight a few things. We do have a listening session today in person about the addition of a Trans Lives Are Sacred banner to our building. That will be happening at the back of the sanctuary today. There is also a Zoom version in about a week or so. So we invite you to that listening session. We also have our family-friendly Puzzles and Pumpkins event this week. We still have opportunities for volunteer roles, so if you're interested in that, you can see me. And next Sunday, we begin our new theme on risk. And to start that off, we invite you to wear pajamas or comfy clothes here to the church for that Sunday service. Of course, our online folks can be wearing comfy clothes all the time, but here we welcome you to wear them next Sunday as we also turn the clocks back. So before we take a moment to turn towards our neighbor in person, let's say hello to our online community. Let's offer a wave to the camera back near the Progress Pride flag, back here in the sanctuary. If you're online, you can pop a greeting into the chat. And we again apologize and thank you for your patience and grace as we continue our elevator repairs. All right, if you're here in person at First Universalist, let's take a moment to turn towards our neighbor and offer a greeting.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I invite you to stand in body or spirit for our opening hymn, which is Breaths, on page 1001 in the Teal Hymnal. Good morning, church family. I'm Kitty Forbush, your worship associate for today. I just want to ask you, how do you feel about change? You know, the only thing in life you can really count on happening. I personally run the gamut from abject terror to begrudging acceptance to, hey, what a great idea. Allow me to explain a recent change that I was faced with. A few weeks ago, Reverend Eileen held a meeting for the worship associates. The purpose was to present a few changes that she hoped to make in the presentation of the call to worship. Oh no. Seriously, my heart rate increased. What is wrong with the way we do it? I boldly asked that question. She had us work with a partner. For me, this was my dear friend Tom Williams, and talk about what she was proposing. Tom talked me off the I hate change ledge. We were to present what we came up with as an example of the change to the whole group. I got through my little speech, which met with approval from Reverend Eileen and the group as a whole. My goal now is to approach change in a whole different way. Talk to people, share my concerns, listen to their opinions, let go of worry, as it only wastes our time. So come, let us work together for change and worship together. Will Sarah and Charlotte please come forward to light our chalice? As Sarah and Charlotte come forward to light our chalice at First Universalist, and you light a chalice in your own homes, please join me in our chalice lighting words spoken in unison. May we be a people of welcome, here to grow in heart and mind and spirit, and may we reach out to serve our community. Yay. Please rise in body or in spirit for our affirmation of faith. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To go out together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the source and meaning of life, lest we covenant with each other and with all. Before I say our offering words, I just wanted to let you know that as SNAP funding is threatened to be cut in 5 days, we will expand our non-perishable food offering to every Sunday in November. So please bring a shelf-stable food offering next week, if you are able, and for the weeks in November. These are the words of Erica Hewitt. The offering that we take each week is not just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place, to these people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. May our offering help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation as tools to power our mission, which is to nurture the Spirit and serve the community. Please place your offering in the offering basket or give online by scanning the QR code on the back of your order of service. This is also a great time to place visitors' forms in the offering basket. For folks online, please click the link in the chat to give to First Universalist Church. Thank you for your generosity. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received.
After For our story, I want to make sure that everyone can hear and see and is comfortable. If there is someone who wants to come up closer, or just make sure that you're closer to the screen or to these screens so that you don't miss a thing. So I'll use my storybook, but remember we have the pictures up here. Right? So today's story is Room on the Broom by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. You coming? Good. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black and long ginger hair with a braid down her back. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat when the wind blew so wildly it blew off her hat. Here it goes. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and the forests they flew, and the stormy wind blew. The dog wagged his tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow from the braid, just like that. Down, cried the witch, as they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out from a tree, with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with the bow in its beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her braid with the bow, I'm a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Ooh. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The bird shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back and beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Then all of a sudden, from out of a pond leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, and then with a croak, as the witch dried the wand in a fold of her cloak. I am a frog, as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? Yes, said the witch. So the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy, and the broom snapped in two. Uh-oh. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar, which was scary. and loud. I'm a dragon as mean as can be, and witch with French fries tastes delicious to me. No, cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help, cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes and said, just this once, I'll have witch without the fries. But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of a ditch rose a horrible beast. It was tall and dark and sticky and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird. And its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch. And it said to the dragon, buzz off, that's my witch. The dragon flew back and he started to shake. I'm sorry, he spluttered. I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly. And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog, down climbed the cat, and whew, said the dog. And thank you, oh thank you, the grateful witch cried. Without you I'd be in that dragon's inside. Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, find something, everyone, and throw something in. So the frog found a lily, and the cat found a cone, and the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well, and while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom! And then out rose a truly magnificent room with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a pool for the frog. Yes, cried the witch, and they all clambered on. And the witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Thank you so much for your attention and interest in our story. I can't wait to play with it some more. And if anyone else is interested, have some coloring pages from the book, and pages where you can write about or draw pictures of something you have lost or has changed in your life this year or recently, and pictures of your own imagined, truly magnificent room. Please join in singing our doxology, as this is a multi-generational service. We're all just going to stay together today and do everything together.
Good morning. If we haven't met yet, it's me. I'm Reverend Eileen, your minister, she, her. And I want to invite you now into our time of sharing joys and sorrows that are all gathered here with us. If you would like to, you can place your hand over your heart to be able to listen from a more heart-centered place as we share. We know that so much is going on in our world today, and if you have joys or sorrows to share on behalf of national or the global community, you are encouraged to do so today and every Sunday in the future. As Kitty places stones into a bowl, I will read aloud the joys and sorrows of our gathered community. This morning, we hold Charlie in our hearts as he is in Florida laying his father to rest. We also hold Johanna's mixed feelings of sorrow over a dear friend who has suffered a sudden onset of serious dementia, and grief for who she is, who she was, and acceptance for who she is now. We hold also celebration in our hearts for Willow, who turns 44 this week. We hold these and all the deepest joys and sorrows of our hearts together. We remind one another that whatever we are feeling, we are not alone. And I invite you today to share in a community ritual of joys and sorrows, to hold the many feelings of this space, whether they have been read aloud or kept in the silence of our hearts. So in a moment, those here in person are invited to come forward and drop stones into the bowls at the front. If you need to remain seated, you can raise your hand and someone will come to you with a bowl to drop a stone in. And if you're joining us online, please send a heart emoji in the meeting chat so that you can join into this collective ritual as well. If you have joys or sorrows on your heart this morning, please come forward now. I invite us now into a time of deep imagination. If you want to call it a meditation or a prayer in your grown-up brain, you can go right ahead. But we are going to hear the words of one of my favorite poems this morning called Sleeping in the Forest by Mary Oliver. And I want us to imagine we're doing just that, lying down to sleep in the forest. So you may start by lying down.